This episode of App Judgment is brought to you by GoDaddy.
Welcome to App Judgment, your source for mobile application news and reviews. I'm Mauricio.
I'm Graham.
And today we're talking about Facebook Places. This is Facebook's new service that allows you to check into locations. And we're going to go over some of the privacy settings as well as how they're interacting with their competitors, quote-unquote competitors.
They're either competitors or partners.
Right.
So Facebook last week announced that they are finally joining the location game, which location is nothing new. We've had services like Looped, Brightkite, Google Latitude, FourSquare, and Gowalla, or FourSquare and Gowalla seem to be the ones everyone kind of knows about, and have almost gone mainstream. But here we are with Facebook saying now we have this new Places API that you can access. You can literally open up the Facebook app and check into where you're at. So in our case, for Vision 3, we're checking in right now. And it's as easy as that. And it lets all of your Facebook friends know where you are.
Right. Now what's interesting is instead of saying locations is our new service, goodbye Foursquare, goodbye Gowalla, they've decided to partner up with them.
Yes.
But how does that partnership work?
Well, the partnership, I mean, everyone was saying as soon as Facebook comes out with their location services, you can say goodbye to all of these little startup location ones like Foursquare and Gowalla. And so a lot of people were just sort of saying, that's it. Facebook is going to take over this space, and there's nothing you can do about it. However, Facebook announced that they were going to partner with Foursquare and Gowalla specifically. And I don't know how far that partnership goes, but what we know right now is that with Foursquare, you're going to have a one-way street. If you check in on Foursquare, it'll automatically check you in on Facebook. And with Gowalla, it's a two-way street. So if you check in with Gowalla, it'll check in where you are on Facebook as well. It'll share that same data.
That's kind of cool.
And if you check in on Facebook, it'll send that info over to Gowalla. So that's how it's going right now. How long that's going to last, or how long people are going to be using Foursquare and Gowalla now that Facebook is in the game, that's anyone's guess.
Now what about mayorships and badges, like all the stuff that's really the incentive to play? To me it's a game, this check-in thing. It's a functional thing for many people to let other people know, especially in a small city like San Francisco, hey, I'm at so-and-so bar, or I'm at so-and-so theater, come meet me. It's like an open invite. But there's also the I'm fighting for the mayorship right now of Aurelia's right downstairs, a little sandwich shop, and that's incentive to check in, and it's kind of like I said, that's the incentive. I don't see it in Facebook yet. Where is it?
So yeah, Facebook Places right now is very bare bones, and actually the Foursquare co-founder Dennis Crowley said he got some headlines this week saying that it's boring. He called it, he said, it's not that great or interesting. It's a pretty boring service with barely any incentives for users to keep coming back and telling their friends where they are.
That's a pretty gutsy quote for someone who's just partnered with Facebook.
Partnered with them.
Out of context though, because it's balls in their court now to create the API to go back to Facebook.
Yeah, so Facebook, all they've done is they've created this Places API, and it's up to other applications to take this API and sort of expand on it, much like all of the applications on Facebook.
So he's saying it's boring now until we push these updates.
Right, so Foursquare is going to add badges to the whole equation, and we'll see how in a couple of months if this gets any more interesting. But I asked my followers on Twitter what they thought about Facebook Places so far, and I got a tweet from Katie saying, I think it's boring. Couldn't I just update my status of where I was without Places? I'm in it for the badges, she says. So, and also Adam says, I agree with the Foursquare creator. It's boring. There are no incentives to participate, and it has potential if everyone uses it. Actually, Martin May of Brightkite said, so far Facebook Places has pretty much been there, done that, of course at Facebook size. Which brings me to saying this is pretty big news, because Facebook, them introducing a location service means that it sort of legitimizes the location aspect of things. You've got Foursquare and Gowalla, where they've been these kind of small companies, and we've been using it for a year or two, but we tend to forget that 99% of people have never heard of Foursquare or Gowalla, but they've heard of Facebook. So it sort of brings location into the mainstream.
And it's partially part of the reason why I think a lot of people are freaking out for the first time about this location service. Like, why would I want to let anyone know where I am? There's services out there that actually mock this, like please rob me, which is just, anyway.
So that brings us to the privacy aspect of things. A lot of people, when Facebook announced this, people were already like grabbing pitchforks. I mean, like, how is Facebook going to screw up the privacy aspect of this?
Exactly.
And it seems like they've handled it pretty well, and there is also some gray areas.
It's not that bad. There's some few nitpicky things that I have about it, but the default settings. Let's actually run down the default settings. If you go into your privacy settings, only friends can see you where you've checked in. So when you check into a place, only people that you've marked as friends can see that you've checked into this place. That's a default setting. Unfortunately, friends can check you into places. This is like tagging a photo.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing, which makes a lot of people cringe. It makes me cringe a little. But I was just talking about this earlier. Like, people already do this with Twitter. Like, hey, I'm at so-and-so restaurant with blah, blah, blah. You know, they do their roll call.
Yeah.
People are kind of already doing this. You know, adding a little metadata to that isn't such a big deal for me, but I understand why you would want to turn that setting off. Another default setting, people here now is on. So if I check into revision 3, and someone else outside of my network, not a friend, not even in my network, also checks into revision 3, they can see that I've checked in. That's another not so okay with me kind of thing. For me, if it were up to me, I would tweak those default settings a little to, if you go into your privacy settings, into customize page, go to things other people share or things others share, turn off the ability to let other people check you in. Like I said, people are already doing this with Twitter. Not a big deal. Just shut that off. If you want to opt out completely, this is the tricky part, and this is the issue that I had with Facebook. I wish there was one toggle switch that said places off.
It's like a 5-step process.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, exactly. So again, go into your privacy settings under Customize. Places I check in, set to only me. That means that even if you use a service, only you can see that you've checked in. Uncheck include me in people here now after I check in. So again, that if someone if you check into a place, I don't know why you would if you've opted out, when other people show up to that location, they can't see that you're there. The next step, friends can check me in, obviously, disable that. And the last step, this is kind of a tricky one, applications and websites. So there's actually applications outside that use Facebook Connect that can automatically check you into services.
Interesting.
Yeah, make sure you shut that off as well. So 4 steps there, kind of hidden in the settings menu.
They should make that a lot more clear.
Yeah, you know, I really wish Facebook would, I love how granular the settings are, but I wish there was settings clusters that you can just automatically shut off. Facebook actually put out a video sort of laying out all these privacy settings. They explain it very clearly. Just go to the URL below, check out the video, they'll explain everything. If you have any questions or suggestions, email us at appjudgment@revision3.com. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and check us out on our homepage at revision3.com/appjudgment. I'm Mauricio.
I'm Graham.
See you guys next time.
Web hosting from GoDaddy.com includes 99.9% uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to Hosting Connection, the place to install over 30 free applications sure to help you get the most from your hosting plan and website. And remember, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry app to order right from your phone, manage your current domains, and more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3. And for App Judgment fans, enter the code JUDGE8 to get 10% off your order.